What's going on YouTube? So I'm going to be doing a video here to show you guys my transition into the Triton method. As you guys can see, one of the major changes is that I have removed my Miracle Mud. Triton does advise you to remove any type of mud you have in your sump area. Now it wasn't that much of a chore because I did hit the 1-year marker with the Miracle Mud, so I had to do a 50% change. So instead of doing the 50% change, I just went ahead and removed it all at once. I did have some footage of me removing the mud, but unfortunately somehow that footage was lost. But this is how we're going to be running the sump from now on, just with the BioBlock for your beneficial bacteria and the Chaeto for your nutrient export. The Triton method has been keeping my tank in autopilot. I've been using the method now for approximately a month and a half. It's really simple and easy to use. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what steps you need to take in case you guys are interested in trying it out. It's actually gonna be even more in autopilot once I get my dosing containers and my dosing pump hooked up to the system. Then all I would have to worry about is just filling those containers up with the stock solution. But yeah guys, everything's been doing great. Give you guys a look at the skimmer. Skimmer's still working perfect. Skimming like a beast. Real dark skin, mate. So I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys and show you the steps into the method. Alright guys, so this right here, these are your base elements. Now the first thing you guys want to do before you start the Triton method is to get an ICP test done, and that's a professional water test analysis that Triton offers. I have a video on that if you guys want to take a look at it. Now the reason for the water test analysis is to check to see where your parameters are at, to see if there's any type of issues with your water. For example, in my case, I found out that my lithium was really high. Solution to that was to perform a 10% water change once a week for 4 weeks. Now, when you get your water test analysis back, if you have any issues, you can actually do the corrections and start the method. You don't have to first do your corrections and then the method. You can actually start the method, dosing your elements while you're doing the correction. So that's the first step. Once you get your test analysis done, then you want to go ahead and purchase your base elements, which consist of part 1, part 2, 3A, and 3B. Your part 1 is pretty much your alkalinity, part 2 is your calcium, 3A and 3B, that's your magnesium and trace elements. Now each bottle you're going to mix with 10 liters of RODI water to get your stock solution. So you're going to do that for 1, 2, and then for 3A and 3B you have an option. You can either mix each one in their own container with 10 liters of RODI water, or you can mix both of them, 3A and 3B. Now you don't want to mix both solutions together. What you want to do is first mix 3A into 9 liters of RODI water and then mix 3B. Now the route I took is I went ahead and I mixed both of them, 3A and 3B, to end up with a total of 3 containers of stock solution. The only reason why Triton recommends to mix these separate on their own 10 liters of water is because if you are going to dose them through a dosing pump, they say sometimes the solution could crystallize because it's so heavy it can crystallize through the line. Now I've talked to several people that are dosing the elements already through a dosing pump, and they are dosing 3 and 3B mixed together, and they haven't had any issues with it clogging the line. So I'm going to take that route and see how that works. For now I am dosing manually. Eventually I am going to get everything hooked up to a dosing pump, so I'll be doing a video to show you guys. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is show you what you guys end up with after the stock solutions are mixed. Okay, so after mixing, we're left here with 3 containers of stock solution. That's if you decide to mix 3A and 3B together. Now these containers, they were actually pretty cheap. I got them at Walmart. I think they were for about $5 each. They're actually perfect. Provide you with easy dispensing of the liquid into your dosing cup. Here at the top, you also have easy access for mixing. On one side, you have your markings for gallons, and on the other side you have your markings for liters. Now these house exactly 10 liters of liquid, so they're perfect to house your stock solution. Now once you have your solution ready, the next step is to start dosing. Now the method is designed to keep your water parameters as close to natural seawater. The dose is going to be based off of your carbonate hardness, your alkalinity. So Triton wants you to start off by having your alkalinity at 8.0 DKH. So if your alkalinity is higher than that, just stop dosing. Through a couple of days, it should come down to 8. If it's lower than 8, you want to dose some alkalinity until you bring it up to 8.0 DKH. Now once you have it at 8.0 DKH, there is a dosing starting point. The dosing starting point is 10 ml per 25 gallons of tank water, and that's going to be 10 ml of each part 1, part 2, part 3. So in my case, I started off with 40 ml of each part. Now once you start dosing, you want to keep an eye on your alkalinity. You are going to have to test for alkalinity daily. You want to keep an eye on it to see if it's increasing or decreasing. If your alkalinity is increasing, you want to lower your dosage. If your alkalinity is decreasing, you want to increase your dosage. Now, you want to do that until you actually hone in a dose for your tank that's going to keep your alkalinity at around 8.0 DKH. In my case, I found my dose to be 55 ml, and that keeps my alkalinity at around 7.9 to 8.1 DKH. Triton says you can actually dose all 3 parts at once. You just have to make sure that you dose them at different parts in your tank. For example, you can dose one down at the sump where your return pump is. You can dose another one through one of the overflows, and one through one of your power heads. In my case, I actually dose them out throughout the day. I actually dose part 1 in the morning when I come in from work, part 2 when I wake up, and 3 I'll dose it in the late afternoon when I feed the fish. Now the ideal thing is to have this on a dosing pump, because that way you can actually spread out your doses and it would be a lot more stable. I am currently saving up to purchase the doser I want. So for now, I'll dose manually. It works fine, but it would be, of course, a lot better with a doser, not only for stability, but would also make it a lot easier where it would just be completely on cruise control. And that is basically it, guys. It's a simple method, keeps your tank with all the trace elements your corals need. I'm actually going into my 3rd month without a water change. Just make sure you have your carbon run, fresh carbon running. I actually change my carbon every 3 weeks. Just keep an eye on your phosphates as well. Make sure you also have fresh media in there for your phosphates. Now, they also recommend for you to do another ICP test. I'll probably do one more again within a month to see how my tank is doing. And at that point, I'm also going to be able to find out to see what elements my corals are using up. And that's basically it, guys. So it's a really simple method. I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys a little comparison here. That should be interesting. Quick comparison here. This right here is the Red Sea coloration program. This is what I was dosing before switching over to the Triton method. Now the Red Sea coloration program has a similar concept to the Triton method. The difference is that with the Red Sea coloration program, it is actually based off of the calcium consumption. So for every 10 ml you add of Red Sea's calcium to your tank, they want you to add 1 ml of each trace element bottle here. So it has a similar concept. Instead of being the alkalinity is based off of their calcium consumption. The only big difference is that it's more of a chore. I mean, you have to dose each bottle daily, when with the Triton method all you have is 3 containers of stock solution, and if you hook that up to a dosing pump, you're all set, you're on cruise control. So I have no problems with the Red Sea coloration program. It worked great for me. It's just that, as you guys see, it's a little bit more of a chore, where with the Triton method you have all those trace elements already included and you're ready to go. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much it for the video. I mean, it's a really simple method if you guys want to try it out. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and as always, thank you guys for watching.